Hello class, receiving students and teachers. Thank you, you may sit down. All right, class and receiving students. In our previous lesson, the topic that we looked at, receiving students, can someone tell me what topic did we look at in our previous lesson? Or what was the topic about?
Caterpillar.
Okay, thank you. Did we look at caterpillars in our previous lesson? Nora, just tell the class the topic from yesterday, our previous lesson.
Multiplus.
Okay, thank you. We looked at multiples. Is that correct, class, receiving students? All right, we looked at multiples. Now, who can tell the class what are multiples? From the lesson that we went through in our previous lesson, what are multiples? Receiving students, in your own words, you can tell your teacher. Class, in your own words, you can explain or describe what are multiples. What do you know about multiples? All right, let's have Onia.
A part of a whole number.
Okay, thank you, Onia. All right. Multiples, Onia. All right, Onia said a part of a whole number. Okay, did we say that multiples are a part of whole numbers? Yes or no? What are multiples? Okay, good try, Onia. Rodney?
The product of a given number and any whole number.
Okay, thank you, Rodney. All right, the product of a given number, of a number, or any whole number, or a whole number. All right, let's look at one example. All right, just to explain more clearly of what multiples are, receiving students. All right, I want you to look at the PowerPoint on the screen. Okay, receiving students. 2 times 4 is 8. Now, what is 8? Because 2 times 4 is equal to 8. 8 is the product, or we can say 8 is the answer. When you multiply 2 and 4, 2 times 4, you get the answer, which is 8. So 8 is called the product. So 8 is the product of 2 and 4. And also, 8 is a multiple of 2 and 4. 8 is also a multiple of 2 and 4. Because we said that multiples are the product of a given number. So if we say, let's say the multiples of 2. Okay, let's say 2. Okay, let's say we have 2 multiples of 2 and multiples of 4. Okay, let's give the first 5 multiples. So let's give the first 3 multiples of 2. Let's start off with 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Sorry, the first 5 multiples of 2. Okay, let's get the first 5 multiples of 4.
4, 8, 12, 16,
20. Okay, so you see, 8 is a multiple of 2, and 8 is also a multiple of 4. Okay? All right, so multiples are product, okay, product of a given number. For example, 2 and 4. 2 times 4, which is 8. All right, now in today's class, today's lesson, receiving students, you're supposed to have collected stones, all right, collected stones, because we're going to be using stones in our lesson today. So each group member, please come up to the front and you get your stones. So this group here, I'd like you to come and get your stones quickly. That group over there, come and collect your stones. Okay, I want you to put them on your table. Okay, next group. Get your stones. Receiving students, you also have stones in front of you. Okay. Which group do you belong to? Group 7. Okay. All right. Whose group? Rodney. All right, all the groups collected your stones? Yes? Now receiving students, in your groups you should have a different number of stones, all right, in your groups. Now, I want you to count the number of stones and you tell the class. Each group will count the number of stones and you tell the class how many stones you have in your group. All right, this group here, okay, you count the number of stones, you pass. All right, you others, listen. You listen to this group here, they're going to give the number of stones. All right, this group.
We have 3 stones.
Okay, thank you. Next group, they have 3 stones. Did you hear that? You're not listening? 3 stones. This group has 3 stones. All right, next group.
We have 5 stones.
Again?
We have 5 stones.
All right. This group here has 5 stones. 3, remember the number. 3, 5. All right, next group.
We have 10 stones.
10 stones. 3, 5, 10. Okay, 7. 3, 5, 10, 7.
We have 11 stones.
11. All right, 11 stones.
We have 12 stones.
Okay, 12.
We have 6 stones.
Okay, this group has 6 stones. And the last group?
We have 1 stone.
Okay. The last group has only 1 stone. All right. Now you others, you have number of stones there with you. All right, this is what I want you to do. Receiving students, with those stones, I want you to put those stones in pairs, okay? Put the stones in pairs. Receiving students, I'm going to put those stones in pairs. Pair meaning putting 2 together, right? Okay, you finished? All right. If you already put your stones in pairs, class, I want you to see the number of stones, the stones there. Okay, remember I've given you the total number of stones, and now you are to put them in pairs. Okay? Now there will be some groups will have all the stones put in pairs, and some groups, what do you think? What do you think about all of the stones that are in your groups? Do you think that all the stones are put in pairs and are equal? Okay, you're saying no, why? Oa, okay, Oa.
Because we have only one stone.
Okay, Oa, all right, thank you, Oa. Okay, Oa has only one stone there in his group. And he can't put any stone together again with that one stone because he has only one. Okay, what about you others? Those of you who cannot put your stones in pairs, or some are left out. Okay, Jordan?
Because we have an odd number of stones.
Okay, thank you, Jordan. How many stones do you have in your group?
7.
You have 7. Okay, thank you, Jordan. Jordan, that group has 7 stones. Now, okay, I'm going to go through all the groups and we'll check the number of stones, and we'll check to see if their group has paired the stones, and if the number of stones are put evenly or not. Okay, now this group here, how many stones do we have? Okay, the first group, did you put your stones put evenly?
Because we have only 3 stones.
All right, they have only 3 stones. Okay. So is there any left over?
One remainder.
All right, so you put 2, because you have 3 stones, you put 2 in pairs and 1 is left out. Okay? Give to the next group. How many stones do you have?
Because we have 2 in pairs and 1 remainder.
So how many stones do you have?
5.
All right, very good. They have 5 stones, 2 pairs, and there's 1 remainder. All right, next group. You others listen.
Because we have even numbers.
How many stones are there?
10.
All right, so did you pair them evenly?
Yeah.
Okay, good. They had 10 stones. All right, next group, please. Okay, quickly. We're still waiting for this group to talk.
We have 11 stones. We have 11 stones, 10 pairs, and 1 left.
Okay, 11 stones. So how many pairs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs and 1 left. All right? Because you put 2 together to make a pair. All right. Next group.
We have an even number of stones.
Okay, good.
12.
All right. Yeah. Okay. How many pairs? 6. Okay. All right. Very good. They have an even number of stones. 12. 6 pairs. Okay. Good. Next group.
We
Class,
have
listen.
even number of stones. 6.
All right, they have 6 number of stones. So how many pairs are there? 3 pairs, even. No leftovers, huh? No leftover stones. Okay, good. The last group.
We have only 1 stone.
Okay. So only 1 stone. No pairs. All right. Okay, receiving students and class. Looking around and listening to the other groups giving their total number of stones, you heard that some stones were evenly paired and some were not. All right? Some were evenly paired and some were not. What about those that were not evenly paired? Can you tell me, receiving students, the stones that were not evenly paired? What about the stones that were not evenly paired? What about those stones? Were there some left over? Were there some leftovers? Yes, sir. All right. Some stones were left out because they were not evenly paired. They did not have any what? Partner. They didn't have any partner to go with the stones to be paired evenly. All right, class. If you look at those numbers, those stones, and you put them in numbers, 3, 5, 7, 10, 11, 12, 6, 1. Who can tell us what type of numbers are they called? Those numbers that, all right, you have 1, 3, 5, or you have 7, 12, these type of numbers. There are some numbers that are evenly paired, some numbers that are not paired, evenly paired. What do we call those type of numbers? Receiving students. Okay, Nelly?
Odd numbers.
Okay, thank you, Nelly. Nelly said odd numbers. All right, only odd numbers? What do we call numbers that evenly paired and some that are not evenly paired? All right, Nelly gave one correct, okay, answer, which is odd. Any other answer?
Yeah, even numbers. Even numbers.
Even numbers. All right. Nelly, okay. Numbers that are evenly paired, evenly put together, and numbers that are not evenly put together, okay, they are called even and odd numbers, all right? Even and odd numbers. So class, our topic for today's lesson, receiving students, even and odd numbers. All right, even numbers are, what are even numbers? What are even numbers? Michaeline?
Even numbers are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Sorry, Michaeline, loud.
Even numbers are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Okay, thank you. Michaeline said even numbers are 2, numbers like 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Is she correct? Yes. Yes, okay. Even numbers, all right. What about odd numbers? Odd numbers? Robert.
13579.
Okay, thank you, Robert. Odd numbers 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay, let's look at the meaning of even numbers. Even numbers, you can put the numbers, for example, looking at the stones, you can put the stones together evenly. You pair them without any leftover. All right? So, for example, 2, 4, 6, 8, those are even numbers. Odd numbers, when you pair them, you still have a leftover or remainder. For example, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, they are odd numbers. Okay, class? Receiving students? Again, let's look at even and odd numbers. Even numbers, you can put those, you can pair them evenly. Yeah? The numbers are evenly paired. No leftover, they're even paired. 2, 4, those are even numbers. Odd numbers, you pair them, you still have a left over or remainder. Receiving students in class, look at the definition on the board. Okay, I'd like you to read together, please. A factor. An even number of things can be put into pairs. All right? So examples, you already gave examples. 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on, all right? You can put these numbers in pairs. And 2 is a factor of these numbers, all right? Okay, what about odd numbers? Okay, class, read. Factor. Into pairs. Okay, there is always one left over for odd numbers. Like 3. You put 3 stones, you try and put them together in order, as even or pair, there will still be one left out. One is the remainder. You only pair one. All right, our exercise for today's lesson, quickly, I'd like you, receiving students, numbers, you are going to draw up numbers 1 up to 50, okay, and you're going to do a table like this. You are going to draw up a table 1 up to 50, all right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, okay? 5 rows and 10 columns. 5 rows and 10 columns. 1 up to 50. Now you are going to, once you have drawn that table, receiving students, you are going to pair which numbers are odd by coloring it blue, okay? The number on the table. You're going to work out which numbers are odd and you color it blue, okay? Which numbers are odd, you color it blue. Which numbers are even, you color it red. All right? Which numbers are odd, you color blue. Numbers that are numbers that are even, you color it red. Now, class, you have your worksheets here, which you are going to use to color, okay? You have a table here. Receiving students, you are going to draw your table 1 up to 50, and you are going to do that. Class, you have your worksheets there. I'd like you to do that now. Even numbers, you color red. Okay. So receiving students, your table 1 up to 50. Use the table to color. The table is already done for you, so just use your color to color in the numbers, the different type of numbers. Okay, have we finished? Okay, class, if we haven't finished, we'll finish. Receiving students, if you haven't finished, we'll finish in your own time, okay? We'll correct our exercise now, but your teachers can correct your work later on. All right. So once you have your table, numbers 1 up to 50, you color the numbers, the odd numbers blue and the even numbers red. So you should have something like this. Okay, class, receiving students. All right, you can see that all odd numbers, they are all colored in blue, and even numbers are all colored in red. Okay? Now, who can tell me? Who can tell me what are odd numbers? What are odd numbers, class? Receiving students? Let's just summarize today's lesson. What are odd numbers? Can you put odd numbers in pairs? No. When you pair the numbers, odd numbers, there will always be what? One left over. Okay, receiving students? When you pair odd numbers, there will always be one left over. And is 2 a factor of an odd number? Yes or no? Is 2 a factor of an odd number? No. When you divide an odd number with 2, you will not get an even number. For example, 11. 11 divided by 2, you will not get an even number. All right? Okay. What are even numbers? Even numbers are numbers that you can pair evenly. All right? Numbers that you can pair evenly, and 2 is a factor of a even number. For example, 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So you divide evenly into 2 and you get an even number. Okay, is that clear, class and receiving students? Yes? All right, so in your own time, please, I'd like you to go through again the table, go through the table and go through these 2 words. What are even and odd numbers? All right, we're going to stop here, class. And receiving students, like I reminded you, you can correct your exercise together with your teacher, or your teacher can collect the tables and correct them for you. All right, thank you, class. In our next lesson, we're going to be looking at prime numbers and composite numbers. That's in our next lesson, receiving teachers. Prime numbers and composite numbers will be in our next lesson. Our key phrase for today's lesson is even and odd numbers. Even and odd numbers. Okay, thank you, receiving students and class, for your participation in today's lesson.